Happy though.
Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. Hi everybody, it's your girl Dynasty.
And I'm Charles, and welcome to Mental Health in the Hood.
And this is the Mental Health Show.
Good job, good job.
All right.
You had a good week this week?
Yeah, I really did have a good week this week. It was a lot going on.
Okay.
It was pretty busy. What about you?
My week been great. Been working hard, but I want to give a few shots out before we go.
So you're going to ask me how I'm doing, and then you want to say you want to give out some shout-outs?
No, but I said I've been doing good. Been working hard. You didn't hear that part, huh?
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I know you're working hard, all this muscle sitting up there.
No, I worked this hard right here.
Okay,
here.
all right.
All right, I want to give a few shots out to all the people who've been subscribing, who've been following us. We couldn't do this without you. I'm saying everything is for the everyday people. Thank you for all the love and all the support. We want to get these stories out there.
All right, thank you, Dad. So recently we posted a flyer. The topic was self-care during the COVID-19 pandemic. So basically we want to allow everybody to come on our Zoom online meetup. It's called the Power Hour. It's on May 13th on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we are going to be talking about self-care strategies that we have used during this time, and also learn from other people and what self-care strategies they have used during this time, and also learn more about what other self-care tips that we can use as we transition through the pandemic. So I really want you guys to come out. It's going to be a great time. Zoom invitations, Zoom meetings are fun and interactive and engaging, and we try to make sure that we keep you guys involved. So please attend, tell a friend, bring a friend,
yes.
Tag a friend.
Yes.
Let's hang out, period.
Yeah. Let's have fun and learn something at the same time.
Right.
Great job.
So today's topic is going to be self-discovery. So my father and I will be telling our personal bios about our self-discovery process and what led us here and how our mental health has impacted that. So therefore, I want you guys to be more open to what we are going to be talking about, and it's going to be a little bit personal, so I do want you guys to understand it's coming from a vulnerable place, and we are sharing this information with you guys.
Yes.
So other than that, let's tap in.
Yeah, thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Charles. Today is such a great day, and today I would like to discuss with you when I decided to change my life and when it was. I say it was like my 10th year in prison. I was in a state where I was feeling depressed, I was feeling hopeless, I was feeling like a loser. I was thinking about all the people that I have harmed, the lives that I have affected, the communities that I have affected, and just me being locked up with not being able to go home one day. And so all that built up tension, it made me just wanted to explode. But at this time, we did a lot of lockdowns back then. I used to be on lockdown a lot, and that's when I discovered books. I started picking up books and exploring my mind a little bit, would not help me think about the streets or think about things that I was missing in my life. And it kind of gave me that balance to just try to just have another feeling towards the world, especially in a dark environment that I was in. So a lot of things I went by to, I was thinking about myself of how can I change? What does it take to change? What certain things I don't like about myself? So one of the things I knew I didn't like about myself is my vocabulary. I cussed a lot back then. So what I did was I took little small steps just to address the changes that I want to make. So say for instance, when I cuss, I used to say, God, forgive me for all my sins. And once I continued to say that, then it stuck in my mind. So I eventually stopped cussing. Then I wanted to change the way I walk, because I didn't want to bring a certain type of presence that wasn't approachable. So I started to be conscious of the way I walk, my face expressions. I changed my face expressions. Just little small things that I was conscious of that I just wanted to do. And that was little small things of how I did it, and it built confidence. And then I also started going to self-help groups. And the self-help groups helped me discover emotional things that I was going through that took me back to my childhood to help me understand where them things came from and how I can move forward as a person. And the reason why I wanted that change is because I didn't like the identity that I built for myself. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to apply myself. I needed education. I wanted to be looked at as a human being. And that's something that I never even thought of being looked at as a human being, because my life was filled with so much violence. So one of my goals is to give back as much as I can, because the more that I give back, it keeps me focused in the things that's in my heart. And once I give myself to people, I bring that awareness to let people know if I can do it, anybody can do it. I was a young kid going through a lot at the time and went to jail at 16 years old, but I came out a new person, a new man. So I built this mentality through help, of meeting myself halfway. You have to put that effort into your life. So as time goes on, that's what I'm gonna be here for the everyday people, to give myself, to give hope, to give love, and build a new you. Thank you for listening to part of my story, and I appreciate everyone out there, everyday people.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, so today we're going to be tapping in a little bit into my personal story. So for most of you guys who may not know, I am an LA native. I grew up in LA, born and raised. I basically went to almost every school in LA. I basically went to Coliseum Elementary. I went to Audubon Middle School. I graduated from Dorsey Middle High School. I graduated from Cal State Northridge with a bachelor's in sociology. And I also graduated from USC with a master's in social work. So born and raised in LA, like I stated. So with that being said, I'm gonna tap right into where it was one of my most vulnerable points in my life. So at the age of 12 years old, I was going to Audubon Middle School. I was about, I would say, 6th or 7th grade at that time. And sorry if I'm a little nervous, this is a vulnerable place of mine, but I remember that was one of the first emotions that I ever felt, was being alone. My mom had was in prison, and she was fighting a robbery case. And I was going through a lot, because I'm like, wait, so my dad goes to jail 3 weeks after I'm born. My mom goes to jail for robbery. She was looking at, I think, about 16 years at that time. And mind you, I didn't have no brothers and sisters at this time. I didn't have like anybody around, not a counselor, social worker that can kind of talk to me about like how I was feeling. I was just, you know, my grandmother, she was very closed off. She's not really like an emotional person, and she wouldn't give me that much information. And I wasn't around my daddy's side of the family, so I wasn't able to figure out what was going on. And I remember like telling my friends, and my friends would have this like look, you know, like, dang, Dynasty, like, I know she going through a lot. And they didn't really know what to do, because we was young, you know, we all kind of come from the same struggle. So it wasn't nothing to really be said, but majority of my friends had both of their parents. So for me to always felt like it was either one or the other, that was a lot for me. At that time, I can also remember, you know, it was a lot going on in my life, because I was living in the jungles at this time. So I started to come outside a little bit more, and I started to get more educated about my community. Meaning like all of the violence that was happening, from the gang activity to the substance abuse to ditching school. I started to engage in a lot of different things. I started to date people on this side of town. I started to smoke marijuana myself. I started to hang out with the wrong crowd. I started to get involved in things that I wasn't really necessarily supposed to be involved in. I was going down the wrong path. People who were around me during this time knew I was just like the opposite of what I am now. I was always very humble and true to myself, but I was the opposite of what I am now. So I didn't really know how to deal with those emotions. So what I started to do was just put it in my lifestyle, and I started to just have this I don't care type of attitude. And I think that any parent that is raising a child that young could relate to that. So dealing with that emotion, I kind of started having like, I started to become real like to where I don't even deal with my emotions as an adult. I think this is the most time I ever dealt with my emotions and being able to talk about it, because I just became emotionless. Like, I just didn't really have any trust for anybody. I didn't believe that people would be around for that long in my life. And, you know, that was like something that really impacted me, and I had to basically grow and get out of that. So through time, I started to work at 15. I had got 2 jobs. My mom had got me a car. I started to drive, and then I got accepted to college later on. And that was like the big hump in my life where it changed my life. When I got accepted to college, I was able to figure out who I was. I was able to build a different identity for myself. I started to change the way I dressed. I started to learn to talk professionally. I started to engage with other people from different ethnicities and different races. I started to engage in different internships. I just really started to emerge in this new lifestyle that was unknown, because nobody around me and the people in my family even was able to tell me about these type of things. And I had to go to all my college advisement meetings by myself, because basically I was on my own, and nobody around I knew that was basically at that same level as me at that point in time. So navigating that, I started to navigate more about myself. I started to learn more about myself, the things that I can do and what I can bring to the table. So it just lets you know that even though came from this environment and I came from these circumstances, I made something out of myself. And there's so many different layers that I can't even tap into that basically got me here. But what I can tell you is that I knew that I can basically get away from this. I knew that I can be better. I knew that I can do better. And education allowed me to do that. It gave me a space. It gave me a voice, and it gave me the opportunities to do what I'm doing now. So through Mental Health in the Hood, I want to basically allow people to learn more about, their trauma, educate themselves about their trauma. And I want to do this by giving back and showing people that if I can do it, you can do it too. And we need each other. We need this platform. So I hope that you join the movement. Thank you.
Hope everyone enjoyed our stories. I know some things was tough to hear, but we want to give you guys our hearts. So anyone that is struggling with PTSD, who wants to share their story for Mental Health and Awareness Month, contact us at mentalhealthinthehood@gmail.com.
Thank you guys for that. And we're also currently accepting candidates at this moment who would like to share their story. So please refer someone or please reach out. Additional to that, we have our first special guest.
Yes.
He will be on episode 4, Sunday, May 31st at 9:00 a.m. He's going to talk about how he grew up in a poverty-stricken environment, how he was impacted by trauma, and how it led to PTSD, and how he's currently coping with things presently in life. So basically, we want you guys to tap in. You can continue to keep in contact with us by following our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mental Health in the Hood. Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe, people.
Yes. If we don't have subscriptions, we don't have a platform.
Exactly.
Okay? Period. So we need you guys to make sure that you subscribe and tap in. Let somebody know. Refer somebody. We will highly appreciate it. We want to thank you guys for taking out the time and opportunity to tap in with us and basically joining this journey.
Yeah.
You guys have a great one, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much.